Hi, my name is David McClure. I'm a chef here at Berret Seafood, and we have a little video here to show you how we do parchments here. Alright, so first I would like to go over the main components of our parchment. One of the most important being the compound butter. Okay, that's any mixture of vegetables, crab meat, anything you like in butter. Today we have fresh ginger, orange zest, and mint. So very simple. And then we like to use a salad oil and butter blend because it melts a little better and doesn't get too brown in the parchment. And we also have salt and pepper, very important. We're doing shrimp today. Okay, these are tail-on 1620. We have soba noodles, or also called buckwheat noodles, and the vegetable. And for a base, we have spinach, and then the main protein, salmon. Okay, so we're going to get to the vegetable part of our parchment. Important thing with this is we're doing asparagus, so these are par cooked or halfway cooked first, and then cut in half. And that's so when they're heating up, they will cook properly. And we also have cherry tomatoes, which we're just going to cut these in half as well so that they cook faster. So I'm going to do that real quick. And then I have a bowl with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil to toss these in, and we'll season them as well. That'll just help add a little bit of flavor, and the full cook time of a parchment is about 15 minutes. So the olive oil and everything will kind of help speed that up since the tomatoes are from a raw state. So I'm just going to put them in the bowl. Add a little bit of our extra virgin olive oil. A little seasoning, of course. And I like to use coarse ground kosher salt and fresh cracked black pepper, which is kind of important for me. So we'll just toss this a little bit, just to get it coated, and we'll put this aside. Next, we'll move on to our salmon and our shrimp. So two important things when using proteins, which are almost always seafood and parchments, is that they're cut properly so they cook in the allotted time. Alright, so we're going to cut the salmon. Important thing with this is we want to do 3 to 4 strips. This salmon is already portioned 6 ounces, okay? So these are going to help it cook. And when we layer it out over our spinach, we won't have any raw parts, okay? Now, shrimp, like I said, 1620, tail off. We're going to take these off and then butterfly them. This way we can lay them flat in our parchment so they don't end up raw. You're just going to go along the top and just get them open a little bit so you can lay them flat. Just like that. Alright, so now we're going to put our parchment together. And like I said before, we start with a base, which is our baby spinach. We like this because you don't have to de-stem it, and it's a little bit sweeter. So we'll lay this down first, just a nice little bit. We still have to put our noodles and everything else on top. Then we have our noodles, or our starch of the parchment, okay? And this is probably about 4 ounces. We'll just put that right there. And these were just cooked al dente, so they're not fully cooked. And then just a little bit of olive oil so it doesn't stick together, which is an important tip. I'm just do a little bit of salt and pepper. Next, you want to do your vegetables, which we already had tossed in olive oil. We'll put the cherry tomatoes first, just around the outside. And then our asparagus. Remember, we cut these all in half so that they'll heat up at the same time as everything else. All right, next we want to go with our protein. So we have shrimp, which we'll do first around the outside so that when it's in the oven it'll get the heat. And we want to make sure they stay flat. Now we have our salmon, which we do want to season. So we'll just put a little salt and pepper. And we'll lay these over top. Remember, that's about 6 ounces. And what's important, our butter. So we'll put about 2.5 ounces of our butter on top. And this is the main thing that helps it cook while it's in the oven and wrapped in the paper. Alright, so now we're going to actually roll our parchment, okay? Important part, just make sure everything stays on the way we placed it. Butter on top. We're going to fold this piece over, like so. We're going to pack it in just a little bit, not too much because you're not trying to mush anything up that we have in there. And then we're going to start at the other corner, folding at an angle, and just keep folding the same angle you did before. We're going to go all the way around until we reach the other side. And if you're good with angles, it's about a 40-degree angle. And then when you get to the end, we're going to move it down, everything down just a little bit, twist, and tuck. Alright? And then you can place this on any flat pan or sheet tray that you use for your oven at about 425 degrees for about 15 minutes. And we have our parchment. Alright, so our parchment is out of the oven, and like I said, we did 425 degrees for about 15 minutes. To present it at the table, take 2 forks, poke it into the center, and then pull away. And that is how you present your parchment. And as you see, everything's cooked, the butter's melted, and it's ready to eat.